Big chest day today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky. We got a prospect riser alert. The guy that replaced Zach Evans at TCU, Kendre Miller. Man, that guy's having a productive season so far.
Yeah, that's what's up. I need to check
Got like
him out.
1,000 yards already.
Yeah, rushing. That's what's up. By the way, I'm very confident that Odell is going to be a Cowboy. Like very.
Yeah, could be a buck.
His top four, he said, were the Bills, the Rams, the Cowboys, or the Bills, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Packers. But he said
Why would he go to the Packers or the? I don't know. He could come to our team too. Like we could definitely use him.
I think it's going to come down to the Bills or the Cowboys. But if speaking breaking news, Josh Allen apparently he might need Tommy John.
Ooh,
from what I was talking, it depends. If the ligament is actually torn, he might need it because basically what it's called, it's
Can he play through it or no?
It's a pain tolerance thing. But again, if it's too painful,
he's fucking nails. He'll probably play through it and get surgery in the offseason.
Maybe, yeah. But with him, so basically it's called the ulnar collateral ligament, and it's basically your funny bone. So your ulnar bone is actually like your funny bone, like your elbow itself. And you know when you hit your funny bone hard, you get that tingling up to your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So when that nerve area, that ligament area is damaged, basically that's what it causes. Like it causes pain up from the elbow to his pinky finger to his fingers. Right. So basically it's hard to grip a ball. It's hard to throw a ball because you're living with this pain. Now he got through the game. He threw a fucking 70-yarder. So we'll see how that is, because it might have just been, adrenaline. Maybe he took a shot at halftime, something like that. But hopefully for his sake, the ligament's intact, because if not, it's a 9 to 12 month recovery if he does need surgery.
Yeah. Also, we had Dynasty decisions up as our background there.
Oh,
but yeah, that's definitely not good. Also, Nick's like play to win fantasy. He put out like a thing like Justin Fields Dynasty price check. Might be time to sell Justin Fields in Dynasty.
He's around him and start a pick. I'd rather buy him than sell him.
Really?
Yeah,
you think so?
100%.
You want to buy him off of me in our listener league?
I don't need quarterback in the league.
I'll do that 1-for-1 right now.
I'd still take Watson over him, but
according to this poll, 68% of people would take Fields, and 62% would take him over Kyler.
He's close with Kyler, man. Like
we're that bullish on Fields already.
I would say right now
he's still not passing at a high level.
He's at least in the DAC area for startups. At least.
Yeah, I mean 76% of people would take him over Prescott.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Like genuinely, he looks really good. He's got the elite rushing profile, and he's 23 years old. Like we're betting on a young ascending talent.
He's hurt for draft capital last year.
Exactly. Like if the Bears,
he's exactly what we thought Trey Lance would be.
Dude, literally, if the Bears go out and draft like Quentin Johnson in the first round, like this guy's going to be a top 8 starter.
Jordan Addison, please. I don't want Quentin Johnson going there. I want Jordan Addison going there.
Fair. Man, that's fun debate though. Would you trade 2 mid-2023?
Actually, now that I think about it, I think Jordan. I think that offense will still be like run heavy and like not that great. I think I would rather Jordan Addison go to like the Patriots or something.
Fair. Would you trade 2 mid-2023 first for Waddle, 1 quarterback league contender? That's a little steep for me because I as good as Waddle is,
that's his market value for sure. It's just like I would want to get him for a tad cheaper than that.
Yeah. The reason why I went that for Waddle is because I don't think he's got like, I mean, he obviously doesn't have like the Tyreek upside. I don't think he's got like 2019 PPR point per game upside, where if you're trading that type of capital, you need a player that can give you that type of production right now. As good as young as Waddle is, I mean, that you're talking about potentially like Jahmyr Gibbs and fucking Jordan Addison.
It's basically exactly what you would have thought of T. Higgins at this point last year. Like you're getting great production, like, mid wide receiver one production, but like not quite the elite wide receiver one production that you would get unless, Hill gets hurt or something like that. But it's market value. I would just, if you can get him for a first, a second, and a third or something like that, I would much rather do that. Justin Fields rest of season. I have both Lamar and Fields. Would you rather trade Lamar for a running back or wide receiver, or Fields for a running back or wide receiver, given both players' current value? It's really all going to depend on what your league thinks of Justin Fields. So for what it's worth, I have Prescott and Justin Fields in my home league, and I'm trying to shop around and see who wants Fields, who wants Prescott, and see what I can kind of do there. I'm just kind of selling whoever gets me the best deal. Like I'm going around to people, I'm like, who do you prefer, Fields or Prescott? Some people are enamored with the upside of Fields. Some people know who Prescott is and know he's going to be pretty solid.
I just updated my rankings for the rest of the season. Justin Fields is my quarterback 9.
Yeah, he's definitely like with the state of the quarterback position, he's got to be a top 10 guy for sure. I personally, I'm in the same situation because I don't want to waste, one of these guys on my bench every week when I can turn him into like what kind of wide receiver would you want for Justin Fields right now if you were selling him off? Like
at least a Monra.
You'd want a Monra? I don't think you're getting that.
I would hold him then. I genuinely think he could be a 20 PPR point per game scorer down the stretch.
He definitely could. But so if you were in my position, let's just play a little game with my own league.
Okay.
Would you sell Prescott then and keep Fields?
If you can get like a receiver
Prescott,
like a Monra.
I think name value carries more weight in my home league than Justin Fields' rushing upside does right now.
If you can get a fringe top 15 wide receiver, I think the cutoff would be like a Chris Godwin.
I don't think I'm going to get even remotely close to that because all these guys. What?
What about Godwin? That would be probably my cutoff.
Oh, on my team.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's go through the rest of season wide receivers.
I think with Prescott, you're talking like Garrett Wilson territory is the best you're going to get.
Then I'm not taking that.
I think that's how quarterbacks are valued in one quarterback leagues. I don't think you can get.
I disagree, man. Like if you're getting a 20 point per game score down the stretch, like that's much more value over replacement than like streaming Daniel Jones. If your quarterback, because most quarterbacks,
I agree with you. I'm just saying that's like you got to figure too. Like 5 or 6 or 7 teams already have a quarterback better than Prescott on their team, right?
Potentially,
they all have Hurts, they have Lamar, they have Josh Allen, all these guys that are ranked ahead of them. So it limits your options also to like
Chris Olave
4 or 5 teams in your league.
Chris Olave.
I would rather have Chris Olave. I just don't think you'll get that.
Fair. Okay. I would rather hold then.
Genuinely. Yeah, like I think in terms of the territory of wide receiver that I would take over Prescott / Fields because I think they'd be really, really close in terms of my rest of the season rankings. If you could somehow buy low on like Deebo Samuel, that'd be awesome. But I just don't think you will be able to. I don't think somebody would give you Deebo. I think the best you're looking at is like Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Tyler Lockett, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson type of territory.
The team you target right now is if Josh Allen's ruled out for a prolonged absence, that's the team you're targeting 100%.
Yeah, for sure. He has I'm trying to think who he has on his team. He's got like a studs and duds kind of squad though. He's got like Hopkins, Kenneth Walker,
maybe
Joe
Fields,
Mixon, Devontae Adams, and then the rest of his team is kind of like
what about Fields and Godwin for Adams?
Yeah, maybe I could do something like that potentially. That also could be the other route that I go is like take Fields. Like I have Judy, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, like those type of guys. I could take Fields, one of those guys, and try and go after like T Higgins or CeeDee Lamb or something like that.
By the way, we did get a super chat, so I will get to it. Appreciate that. He said, "Can only drop TB12 for Fields." You do that yesterday. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. You drop ready for Fields.
Yeah. 100%. Appreciate the super chat, our gravy.
D Bell actually has. I was trying to work out a trade with him because he actually has Tom Brady, and I tried to offer him. He wanted Prescott instead of Fields. I asked him which one do you prefer. He's like, I like Prescott better. So I sent him Prescott and Deontay Johnson in exchange for Tom Brady and who was the receiver that I asked for? Shit, now I forget.
Upgrade. Well, I mean, I can go through it. Like,
it was Gabe Davis. It was Gabe Davis and Tom Brady. And I was like, again, I don't really. If I'm
wouldn't want to do that.
Back, I have a decent like streaming backup quarterback that I can use in tandem with Justin Fields. I don't know. I think my best option is just kind of stream matchups between those guys. Like Fields plays the Lions this week. Like
Fields is going to rush for 130 yards against them.
You playing him over Prescott this week? If you got them both?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the Cowboys are just going to mop up Green Bay and it's going to be on their running attack. Like I don't think Green Bay stands a chance against Dallas this week. And I get it. I'm biased, but the Cowboys are -5 on the road right now. And I don't think that line is high enough. Like the Packers are decimated. They're without Aaron Jones. They lost Rashawn Gary for the fucking season. And Aaron Rodgers is playing his worst football of his career.
Yeah.
So if you can get that early line on Dallas -5, like I think that line might blow it up to like -7, -5, -7.5.
Remember when I was trying to sell Justin Fields for literally anything I could get for him in our listener Dynasty? I didn't want him. I was like, I just don't think he's that good. I think that the team is going to fail him around, building a team around the guy, and he's, proven me wrong so far for sure. I was not high enough on Justin Fields, man. He's looked really good.
He was always my quarterback too. Shout out.
He was not always my quarterback too, but we did have, Zach Wilson he just beat the Bills. So, I mean, he didn't really beat the Bills. Defense did, but he didn't screw it up.
I'm really nervous. I watched the video about how Josh Allen happened to have his injury, and basically how it happened is he got his wrist pushed down to the point where his elbow was almost at a 90-degree angle, which is never good for the ligaments there.
Oof.
So I am very nervous about Josh Allen's injury, and I hope for the best case scenario for him. But prepare if you do have Josh Allen, prepare to be without him. And also you're in a dynasty league and somebody's competing. And let's just say, okay, right now, if you are a rebuilding team, let's just say, and you have Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields, you might potentially be able to work up to Josh Allen if a contender needs a quarterback, if Josh Allen's out for the year.
Yeah, I mean, if you could sell Justin Fields in a first for Josh Allen, I would do that. Heartbeat.
I would too. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it might be time to shop Justin Fields in Dynasty. Personally, I'm not 100%. If people are gonna be like, yeah, he's 100% better, like you might be able to get fucking Justin Herbert for him if you add like a second.
Maybe. I know.
Given how Herbert's played this year.
I know a member of the Discord, I think it was Mikey. He basically messaged me. He's like, apparently as a joke, he went to the guy who has Herbert and he's like, I'll give you Fields for Herbert. And the guy's like, I'll consider it. Like that might be a plausible move, especially in more casual leagues.
Man, the reaction that Fields, and he's been great. I don't want to sell the guy. If you can get Herbert, like that's a pretty big difference. Like,
no, 100%. And I love Fields. What are your thoughts on James Conner? I look pretty decent. Expect more touches for him. Yeah, I think he's a low end RB too. I'm
not buying into him. If you guys have Conner and you got a decent performance out of him this week, maybe you wait till next week until he's got his full workload. I'm probably going to offload the dude as soon as I possibly can.
So it sounds like you're going to be taking like Cordero over him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Give me Cordero Patterson easily over James Conner rest of the season.
I'd take Conner.
Really? Yeah, you take him over CPAT, dude? CPAT's like a minimum 20 yards every touches the ball.
I'm worried about exactly how long he sustains throughout the season. Like I'm worried about his wear and tear because he has never received a workload in the NFL.
I mean, he had 4 games off.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, I just think there's a lot more volatility than there is for Conner.
Geno now the favorite to win comeback player of the year. You'd love to see.
I'll do so.
Yeah, he's gonna win it for sure. I think ETN would probably be the second best candidate, maybe Saquon. I don't know. Those guys are kind of all in the same area.
There's one name I forget. I mean, you got to consider McCaffrey in there as well because
McCaffrey might have an absolutely ungodly second half of the season. He could still win the award dude. The 49ers could be like win out the rest of the season. I think they could legit be that good of a team.
I think right now that the Seahawks and the 49ers are the third and fourth best team in the NFC.
I think the Seahawks are better than not the Seahawks. The 49ers are much better than the Cowboys, to be honest.
No shot. Come on,
I know you're biased and shit.
You're biased, man. That's crazy talk.
Biased how, dude? I'm not a 49ers fan.
Because you just want to see my reaction to when you slander the Cowboys.
I'm not. I legitimately think they're a much better team than you.
Comparable defense. Like they're both top 3 to 4 defense in the league.
Right.
And if the Cowboys have Dak Prescott, their offense is significantly
your quarterback is better for sure, but the coaching is night and day with San Francisco versus your team.
Sure.
And the weapons, it's weapons galore. Like if CeeDee Lamb gets locked up for the Cowboys, if he faces like a number 1 corner or whatever, like Gallup looks like a shell of himself right now.
We'll just throw it to Odell Beckham.
I mean, Pollard is obviously your other like trump card.
We'll just throw it to Odell Beckham Jr.
I don't know. Like, guy's literally got 2 ACL tears the last 5 years. I don't know.
And he's still a top 20 wide receiver.
I have questions about your offense, though. I still think they're a good offense. I just think the 49ers could be absolutely unbelievable on offense.
Jimmy Garoppolo still exists.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on what do the Seahawks do at quarterback / like, do they pay him?
You're right, Gino. He might get like a $20 million a year type of contract.
You definitely at least like franchise tag the guy. I would imagine at the very least.
I think it'd be better off if you give him like a 2-year, $40 million deal than franchising.
Like Jameis's contracts from this past year,
somewhere around there.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. No. Dude, give me if you can get Elijah Moore for Terrace Marshall has had realistically 2 half-decent games his entire career. If you could sell Terrace Marshall right now for a second-round draft capital or use him to get to a guy like Elijah Moore, in a heartbeat, I'm making that move.
100%. Should I trade
that is a plausible outcome, though. Stroud to Terrace Marshall in 2023 is definitely realistic.
It doesn't really matter, though, because Terrace Marshall's not good.
Yeah, Terrace Marshall's not good enough to be commanding anything like that. He's had a couple good games. Maybe he can keep it going, but I don't know. I got to see at least like 4 or 5 more of those games for me to believe in Terrace Marshall.
Like if what's it called? If Elijah Moore was getting a full snap allotment, full road allotment, and was still doing jack shit, okay, maybe like at that point you could be a little bit scared. But he's just not getting routes. Like genuinely, routes are given, targets are earned. And with Elijah Moore, he's just not getting the routes.
Yeah, they clearly have him in the doghouse or whatever. Yeah. But I will say, like, the Terrace Marshall thing this offseason, it seems like the Dynasty community became wise to the whole, like, face planners thing. And you could get Terrace Marshall in, like, the 20th round of a startup, which probably inherently was a little low, right? Like, he's still a young receiver. Yeah, he's a face planner and the hit rate isn't high. But, I mean, at the same time, sometimes NFL receivers just, don't produce their first year because it's like a mental thing, which is probably what it was for Terrace Marshall. So maybe he can turn the corner here, but I'm not, holding my breath that he's going to become like a sudden like elite wide receiver.
Yep, I agree. Got another super chat here from Scotty. Appreciate that. Trade deadline coming out. Any moves you would make or hold? Hurts, Hopkins, Lamb, St. Brown, Walker, ETN, Fryermuth, Wilson, Cowboys D. Now you look pretty set to me. Maybe like you can upgrade from Fryermuth a little bit, but like other than that, I'm fine with this team, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, let me know down below when your guys' trade deadlines are too, because I need to know when I got to stop making trade target videos. And once those trade target videos are done, I'll probably talk about some like rest of season schedule stuff and all that kind of things that I did last year. I also ranked all the handcuffs the one Wednesday. And
shout out Rashad Penny.
Really well. That was that would have caused you to stash Rashad Penny. It would have caused you to stash Darrell Williams. Would have caused you to stash Sony Michel. All of whom would have probably led people to championships because it led me to one in my home league. Should I trade Dalvin Cook, Derek Carr, and Zach Wilson for Mahomes and Chase? Half PPR, super flex, 6 point per passing touchdowns. Is this dynasty or redraft?
It looks like a dynasty offer.
I mean, either way, I'm going to go with Mahomes and Chase.
Yeah, a heartbeat. Like,
yeah. I don't even know how this is possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Go fleece them.
I don't even know why I asked if it was dynasty or redraft before just answering yes.
Either way, it's a yes, to be honest.
A super flex 6 point per passing touchdown league. If we redraft,
Mahomes is worth that package.
Is a top 5 pick.
Mahomes is worth that entire package in a redraft. Never mind a dynasty. So yes.
Yeah, and Chase, I don't know how Chase is in that deal somehow, unless that's Chase Claypool. That'd be my only fucking response to that. All my upset predictions were wrong except for the Lions. I knew the Lions would beat the Packers. That was the one I had a problem with actually.
No, I thought you called the Jaguars. I thought he called the Jaguars.
No, he said Falcons over Chargers. He also said Commanders over Vikings, I think too. And then there was another one that he had that I didn't agree with, but I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, fair.
Colts are tanking about damn time. Should have done it right after Luck retired. Facts. Tanking team in Dynasty. Would you sell Michael Carter so he isn't scoring me points? If so, what would you look for in return? Any second round draft capital, 2023, 2024, 2025. I don't really care. He's off my team. Even if you have to give, Carter in a third to get to a second, I'm probably still willing to do that just so I can secure the first pick.
Yep, agree.
Speaking of dynasty trades, I actually had an offer in my my inbox today in our best ball dynasty league, or my best ball, because we have two separate best ball dynasty leagues. Somebody wanted DK Metcalf and a third for Javonte Williams and a second. I'm not doing it, but I was like, well, the offer I sent him was, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was, I wanted Javonte. I think I sent him Rashad Bateman and a 2 for Javonte, I think is what I sent him.
Yeah, and, I'm fine with doing that. I'm not giving up. DK.
Yeah, I that's what he countered with. And I'm like, I'm not really in the business of selling 25-year-old elite wide receivers for post ACL reconstructive surgery running backs in a tank, which is what I'm in.
Yeah, Jonathan, this is gonna be a really fun game this evening. I think.
Yeah, I got so I got some coin on the Saints money line. It's like somehow they're dogs at home.
2.5 points.
Reason. I think they should be winning this game. To be honest, I think the defense is gonna really give it to Lamar Jackson. He has no weapons out there. He's no Andrews. He has no Edwards. He has no Bateman. Like it's gonna be tough. Yeah, Robinson. It's going to be tough on them for sure. So I think the Saints should win this game. Is where I'm at. I took the under in the game too because I think if the Saints win, it's probably a low scoring, like Saints defense did their job kind of game.
Love that bet.
Yeah. Lenny looks terrible. Dude. Leonard Fournette needs to get off the field. Like legitimately, he actually is like a detriment. And Tony Romo was roasting him the entire game. The whole broadcast, he's like, it's like they're wasting every first down. I'm like, dude, it's so irritating. And every time they got a first down run that actually worked, it was usually Rachaad White that was the running back. And then they had immediately run the ball again. It was like, okay, we got a 1st and 10 run. It's second and 4.
And 6.
It's second and 4, 2nd and 5. And then we run it again and we get stuffed immediately at the point of attack. It's like, why can't we go play action after we get a good first down run? Like that's the point of getting ahead of the chains is that you're not forced into like they're playing like Tennessee Titans ball where you got to get every first down with Derrick Henry. It's like
they're playing like the Cowboys with Cooper Rush.
Is your passing game?
They're playing like the Cowboys did with Cooper Rush.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you can't win games with Leonard Fournette on an offensive line that is getting absolutely zero push. Like you can't win games like that. You have to throw the ball.
Yeah, and
Tom Brady's not playing bad too. It's not like they're trying to shield Tom Brady. He's getting the ball out fast. He has 1 interception on like 400 attempts this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, but we left off.
I
Kentucky.
don't really watch college basketball, but sure.
Kentucky, baby, let's go.
Hey guys,
what's
going on? I'm from Kansas, so good time of year. What's up, ladies?
What's up,
Josh Allen? Potential Tommy John. We kind of already talked about that. Yo, what's going on, Spicy Hot? Best QB streaming option. I'm sure Danny will cover that.
Yeah.
In tomorrow's video. What are you thinking so far on the QB streamers?
Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence is the one that stuck out to me there as well. Dude, Dalton's honestly not been that bad. It's just with Dalton, I always worry about
upside.
He has no upside because Kamara is the guy that they go to, and even Taysom Hill too. He steals like valuable touches, so it's hard to go with Dalton. I think Mariota and Lawrence are probably your best options there. Wild that Stafford's in that conversation after what he started at this year.
What's up, ladies?
Leo says, "What's up? What up?
What up?"
I'm an IU fan, so I love college basketball season as well. Should I drop AJ Dillon and pick up Jeff Wilson? No. Aaron Jones is dealing with an ankle injury. I'm not dropping AJ Dillon.
You guys will hear though. I am very high on Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, I am as well. I think he's a great pickup for sure.
I got him and Odell Beckham, which oddly enough, if you guys see the video for tomorrow, are my top 2 waivers this week.
They were my 5 and 3. In my TikTok. And if you guys aren't following our TikTok, I do waivers over there. Danny does waivers on our YouTube. My number 1 waiver was Traylon Burks.
He's not available in 50% of leagues for me.
He's only 36% owned on Sleeper.
On Yahoo, who's higher. That's probably
weird.
It's probably
because it's IR spots.
Yeah.
More on Yahoo leagues. The second one that I had was Jahan Dotson, who was like 40% owned or 36% owned or something like that. And then my 5th one, actually sneaky waiver pickup, was 11% owned Isaiah Spiller, who should be very widely owned in a lot of your leagues. You know, me and Danny liked Spiller in the draft process. He outsnapped, coming off of the bye week, he outsnapped Sony Michel as the second running back behind Austin Eckler.
8-to-1 touches, no?
Yeah, he had some. He's not going to have any standalone value. You have to have an Austin Eckler injury for him to be relevant. But I mean, as cheap as handcuff goes, he's got upside. He's got a 3-down skill set, and it's a good offense. So if anything were to happen to Eckler, this is like a very free handcuff that you can store right now on your benches.
Agreed. By the way, with Odell Beckham, I know, we don't know exactly when he's going to return, but especially if you're in a high seed, if you're like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd seed in your league right now, you could pick him up, you could stash him. I think he could be like a wide receiver 2, or low end wide receiver 2, maybe a wide receiver 3 down the stretch, which, I mean, as we know, with injuries and bye weeks piling up, like that's going to be invaluable type of production. So yeah, I love Odell Beckham, especially considering that he's almost a lock to go to a good offense. Like to not just going to sign for the Packers. Like I know they're in the top 4, but I'm sorry. Like if he actually wants to win a Super Bowl, he's not going to the Packers.
He's going to Dallas, Buffalo, or probably that's it. Honestly, those are probably the only 2 places he would go.
Maybe the Giants if he wants to get frisky. The return.
The Giants would be kind of fun. Honestly, the jersey swaps would be elite.
Yeah, it'd be pretty easy.
Yeah, no kidding. 10-man PPR, 7-2. Should I trade Justin Fields, DeAndre Swift, and T. Higgins for Justin Jefferson? That's steep. I probably wouldn't do that. You're giving up a very high upside quarterback. You're giving up DeAndre Swift's going to be an elite running back when he's back on the field, and T. Higgins is a back end wide receiver 1. So yeah, that's too much for me.
I'd agree. That's too much.
Yeah, we did have that. Olave likely Lamar for 100 points. Yeah, I'm praying for you, pal.
Yeah, he literally broke his funny bone, by the way.
Yeah, everyone's all concerned that we had the dynasty decision thing up. Tommy John, yep. Sup studs. I put $50 on Olave over 61.5 receiving yards. So I actually have
I like that.
I'll flash my parlay here. Sold Fields for an early first. What are your thoughts on that?
That's probably appropriate value right now, genuinely. I think I might take Fields unless that's the guaranteed 101.
Unless it's 101, I think I would take Fields, to be honest. I
would.
Knowing what I know about Young and Stroud, I'd rather have Fields.
Yeah, I think I would agree there.
Wild. How did we get here?
Because Justin Fields is really good at football.
Justin Fields just set the NFL record for rushing yards in a game. That's how we got here.
Genuinely, dude, he is so fucking good. And I was talking about it after the Cowboys game. I'm like, dude, like Justin Fields looks like that guy, and I'm like, okay, you know what? He looks like that guy, but maybe that was just a flash.
Good defense that he was playing against, though.
Dude, back-to-back weeks, 29 points against the Cowboys, 32 against the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins had Chubb in that game too, so their defense should have been better than it was.
Dude, and throughout that game, the thing I noticed is Like, it wasn't that he had like clean pockets and wide open receivers. Like, dude,
if all else fails, I'm running for the first down. Literally every single play. It was, if all else fails, I'm just going to run.
It's like, go figure. You have a 6'3", 235-pound quarterback that runs a 4.3, and you finally get him involved in the offense and the running game. Like, yeah,
dude, it's exactly what we expected Trey Lance to be. Literally,
yeah,
it's exactly
100%.
what we expected. So
only the upside of Lance was that he was doing it in a better offense.
Yeah, literally. So this is the parlay that I got tonight. So I got the under on Lamar's rushing yards. That one's a little sketch because he doesn't have a lot of weapons, so they might run him a lot. Alvin Kamara to punch one in. Isaiah Likely over 40.5 receiving yards. Devin Duvernay over 50 receiving yards. That one's a little risky, but I kind of like him to get some receiving in this game. And then Chris Olave over 90 plus receiving yards. This is kind of like the contrarian bet to like my regular bet because if the game is higher scoring, then the under doesn't hit most likely, and then maybe that other stuff goes right for me. So the Saints have actually been on the receiving end of a lot of my good parlays this year. So hopefully the Saints can actually help me out for once because that's the only thing they've been doing right for me is winning me parlays. So let me go back to where I was here. It's not a good injury for a quarterback to have. No, it is not. No, not buying into Fields.
He should be.
Yeah. I'm buying into Fields from like a fantasy perspective. I'm a little wary of him like as a passer. He's still got some work to do for sure.
Oh man, I just want to.
He just has no weapons too. Like
I just want to see a top 10 pick wide receiver for them. Like, please.
To be fair, like the weapons he does have, like I mean, Equanimeous St. Brown dropped a 4th down pass that ended them the game, but they are playing decent for like how like Cole Kmet had a good game.
He had like 8 targets. Yeah,
like they get like random showings from like Dante Pettis sometimes. Like it's weird. Like they have like they collected like every 1st round and 2nd round bust wide receiver on one team.
By the way, Khalil Herbert needs the ball more because he's so much better than fucking David Montgomery, dude.
Yeah, I'm really glad I was ahead on Khalil Herbert, and I drafted him like pretty much every rookie draft I was in because I was just like, this guy's just a good player. When you're in the 3rd, 4th round of running of rookie drafts, and you just like, this guy's a good player, just take him.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's pretty much all I saw when I watched Khalil Herbert. He had a bad profile. He was like a 22.5-year-old redshirt senior at Virginia Tech his final year, but I'm like, he's a good player. He's kind of like. Yeah. He was kind of like the B-Rob that year. I was like, he's an overage prospect, but he looks good on film. So that's the only reason I'm buying into him.
He's better than B-Rob too.
Oh yeah, he's way better clearly. Than B-Rob.
Yeah. Should I try to trade Adams?
Sentiment with Mo Ibrahim in the NFL is that he's going to be the B-Rob this year.
I could see it. Physical tone setter between the tackles. Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
Steven, I would be more than comfortable doing this. Now, when we're talking small piece, what are we talking here? Because if you can do like Adams and I think I would be willing to go up to like White. Adams and Olave, man.
I'd be willing to give up Herbert or White too if they want like some more upside type of piece. Fair. Yeah,
but I think
I'm not willing to go Adams and Olave. I need a piece
CMC.
Back. I need a piece back.
Yeah, okay. Maybe you can get a piece back.
If you get like CMC and Deontay Johnson back for that, then I'm fine with that.
I was gonna say like, what about like CMC and Jeff Wilson?
He already has Jeff Wilson.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier.
Somebody in that territory, that's totally fine.
Okay. You have where we left off?
Yep. Should I trade Mike Evans and Miles Sanders for Mahomes? My QB is Geno. My other wide receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Olave, and Kirk. I'm probably not going to give that up for Mahomes personally. I think you got a top 15 wide receiver and a top 15 running back. That's a little too much for me to give up for a QB in a 1 QB league.
A little steep, yeah.
And Geno's been fine too. Like it's not like you're screwed at quarterback.
Isn't he averaging like close to 20 points per game right now?
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Like you're not getting a huge difference between Geno and Patrick Mahomes outside of like safe, like peace of mind.
Yep. Appreciate that, Paco.
What's going on, Paco? Evening, gentlemen. What's up, Cornish Crypto?
Okay.
Sadly, need to start a Baltimore wide receiver tonight. So in our listener dynasty league, Danny, I don't know if you noticed, but I had Jarvis Landry in my lineup and he's ruled out. I already beat you because I'm up like 7 points.
My team's so down bad.
And I also have Kamara playing tonight, so I'm gonna win anyway. But I'm starting James Prochet just because points for count. So
yep.
Prochet would be the guy I would go with though.
Yeah, I agree. I would if I knew what Djax's role would be, I would be more inclined to, but at least I know James Prochet is going to get snaps.
Yeah.
Again, Djax is active. He might catch a long touchdown in this game, but realistically, like if we're talking about who's going to get the routes, I feel more comfortable saying Prochet. So I will go with Prochet. But again, like with the size of this receiving core, if you told me within 2 weeks that Djax was like the most valuable receiver on the Ravens, I wouldn't be shocked.
That'd be super weird. I don't know how Djax is still a relevant piece in fucking 2022.
You don't remember the best connection of all time? Deshaun Jackson and Ryan Fitzpatrick, baby. Let's ride.
Yeah. Oh, it was, dude. It was elite.
It was
4-2 on the week. Got Mixon in one league. I did as well. I dropped the second most points and lost to Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams. So that was fun. Came up with 3 points short last night, down 60 with Henry and Kelsey. Ooh, that sucks. You almost got there. I actually I made a bet on Henry scoring 2 touchdowns last night, so that hit, which was nice. My main leagues, let me actually look. So my home league, like I said, I scored the second most points, and I lost to the Joe Mixon, 5 touchdown game. I beat Roger in our Patreon league, so I moved to 6-3 now, and I think I should be in like 4th place or something, or 3rd place maybe. You won this week, right?
In which league? Patreon?
Patreon.
I need 2 points for Alvin Kamara.
Okay, yeah. So you won. You were in 3rd, right?
Technically,
you're like me, and you are 3rd and 4th right now, I believe.
Okay. Let me just check the standings.
Flet and Chief Sharkbait are ahead of us.
Yeah, but Sharkbait lost this week. 2 Flet, I believe. I believe.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I do know I have the most points scored in the league.
Not to Flet. He lost to the Seed Bros.
Got you.
You're gonna pass him, but he still has more points scored than me.
I have I think I should have the most points scored in the league after this week. Because I'm assuming
you already did. I'm pretty sure, didn't you?
Well, I just need Kamara to score like 20 plus. I need to stay within 12 of Brian Harris.
You have 1,200 points for in this league right now. The only person, Brian has 1178, which is kind of crazy that he's 4-4.
My team's nuts, bro.
Yeah,
it's nuts. The fact that I'm even going to be like only 6-3, like I probably should be like 8-1. I lost.
Dude, I threw up numbers. I feel bad for Brian. I threw up numbers against him, man. I dropped like 200 points on him.
Was
it like 178 and lost?
Dude, against fucking Ginger Ale, AJ week 1, I lost by 4 and I scored I think the 3rd most points in the league that week, or the 2nd most, or something stupid like that.
Yeah. And then I actually got my 2nd loss of the year in Tone Setter Truthers Dynasty League, but I had CMC, Saquon Barkley, Brandon Ayuk, Cortland Sutton all on bye. And then somebody, and Jamar Chase and Marquise Brown are hurt for me right now. So I just need to get healthy in that league.
Dude,
I'm 7-2 still, so I'm good.
I had 3 guys combined for 0 points, and I still somehow am projected 101 this week. It's because Justin Fields had 51.
I actually technically have not lost yet in that league.
Oh, no, I realize now.
Never mind.
I realize now it's because Justin Fields had 51 points for me.
Yikes. Dude, I thought I was going to actually win despite all my injuries because Hurts and Goddard dropped like 60 points on Thursday Night Football.
So by the way, I'm going to beat Sharkbait this week. I'm going to be 4-5 with my team. But because I have so little points, it's actually better that I beat Sharkbait because I also have his 1st round pick.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, we take those. Sad I didn't sell DJ Moore on a high in Pittman before the collapse. It's too late. It's probably too late, I would say.
Yeah, I would have sold DJ Moore. That's why he was my number 1 sell high last week. I'd be a little stunned if he got that big of a contract. I think, like Danny said, it's probably closer to like a Jameis contract, but it wouldn't shock me if he continues to play this way. If they win a playoff game or something like that, he definitely probably deserves that.
What's up, fellas? It's been a while since I got to catch a live. Who would you rather have for competing in Dynasty?
Mike Williams is out for like 5 to 6 games, so I'd rather have Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper pretty easily. Like they're the same tier when they're both healthy, and I mean Amari Cooper is available to you. So appreciate you for coming back to the live stream though, Ram. I do remember your name, especially in the off season. Hey boys, was on Dynasty Decisions today. Rebuilt with ETN. Threw him on the block to see what offers came in. First offer is a 2023 mid first, 2024 second David Bell. That's not gonna get done for me.
Not enough for me. I want 2 ones for him if I'm going to sell him. Because I remember his team. He was in a position where he's like, tearing it down. And ETN is a guy that you could sell, but like you don't have to sell because ETN could, have a ton of value heading into next year, especially, once Calvin Ridley's back on the field for the Jags, they add another piece or whatever. That offense is probably going to be a lot better next year than it is this year. So I don't think you need to sell ETN unless you get 2 first round picks. I'm probably not going to sell him.
Okay, what would you say? Would you do like maybe ETN in like a small win now type of like fringe top 40-ish level wide receiver for 2 ones? Like if the guy wants another piece?
I guess like part of me wants to just like sell him before the season next year, but like then you also run the risk of him getting injured and all that kind of stuff. So I think if I have to give up, I'm trying to think.
Myers? Jacoby Myers?
Yeah, Jacoby Myers and Travis Etienne. I'm cool with doing that. I can't remember exactly who was on his team that he could throw into that deal, but
I mean, I could look at it right now. So he was Colin. Colin has, I mean, maybe somebody's willing to do it with.
He had a bunch of running backs, didn't he?
Yeah, like
Wouldn't it
maybe
be better to give up like Carter or something? Because didn't he have Carter on his team?
Algier would be the one, but
yeah,
I mean,
Algier
with CPAC coming back, maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe Josh Palmer if Williams expected out for a decent longer. That's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah, if you can get 2 1s out of like a small piece like that, I'm totally cool doing it. Yep. That takes more production off of your team as well. So definitely in a good spot. Not competing. This is tanking for 101. Should I trade Lamar for Brees in a 2024 first? Is that enough? No, it's not. I need more than that for Lamar.
I need
super flex. If this is a 1 quarterback league, then I'm fine with that. But
I'd need at least 2 1s with him, at least, and I probably still wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't need 2 1s with Brees. On top of it, I still value Brees as like a first and a second round value, but I value Lamar as like 3 1s plus, probably close.
So that's a valuation.
Yeah. So Brees, if you got Brees a late 2023 first and then a 2024 first, then I would.
That'd be relatively fair at that point. Yeah,
but it's tough, man. Even though you're not competing, you probably don't want to invest in a young running back that's coming off of an injury just because there's no need to at this point in your window. If you were going to sell Lamar, you should sell him almost strictly for draft capital. What's up, boys? I got a hot take for you. Chris Olave will have a top 5 dynasty value heading into next year behind Chase,
can see it, man.
Jefferson, CD, and AJ Brown. I personally would still rather have Drake London than Olave in dynasty at this moment. But I would also rather have Garrett Wilson. Than Olave. But I do think he's clearly in that tier with those guys as like
100%.
Fringe top 12 wide receivers in dynasty. And by the end of the year, I think all 3 of them could be top 8 wide receivers.
Yep, agreed. Question, Amon-Ra, what should I do? I am 9-0, and that isn't with Amon-Ra's help. Is he a hold, or should I try and upgrade?
If you're 9-0, there's no need to sell him. Yeah, you definitely hold him.
He came back this week, and I know his yards per route run comparatively this week versus the stretch he was playing hurt rose dramatically. So that's telling me that he's starting to get fully healthy. And
I'm annoyed that he got hurt, man. He was about to have a special season.
He could have been this year's Cooper Cup.
Yeah, he could have been absolutely unbelievable this year. It was a tough matchup. The Packers are really solid against wide receivers. He still had 9 targets. He's still getting the usage that you want to see out of him. So Amon-Ra, I know I talk about him like it seems like every single week on the trade targets video, but he's probably going to get talked about again this week.
Yep. Agreed. $5 super chat here from Mark. Appreciate that. He says selling ETN and rebuilds is so sad. Have to though, right? Get picks, pieces to trade for an elite quarterback. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, I agree. As much as I love ETN, like if you can leverage him into a potentially elite quarterback, like what would you be willing to pay with ETN for Fields right now?
Nothing. I'd probably want to do it 1 for 1.
Nobody's taking that
for Fields.
Nobody's taking ETN for him straight up.
I don't know. Depends. I don't think that's like a crazy thing to say that he might be.
I think it is
a 1 for 1 type of deal.
I think ETN's probably gonna be like an early 3rd round startup pick, and Justin Fields gonna be a late 1. So I do think it's.
Well, he's your dynasty RB1, isn't he?
Yeah, and that shows you how little I have faith in the running back position.
Okay, so how many wide receivers are you taking over ETN? I don't think he's a 3rd round startup pick. I think you're overestimating how many. I think it's like a mid-second, dude. I think you're overestimating how many players are ahead of him still.
I mean, like the quarterback upgrade is just far worth it. Like far worth it. And I mean, if Justin Fields hits,
right? But like, I'm probably not willing to give up much more than just ETN for him. Like,
oh, I absolutely would.
How much more are you willing to give up?
The most I'd probably be willing to offer, in a deal that I personally would offer, would probably be ETN in a 1 for Fields in a 2. Is probably what I would look to do if I wanted the quarterback equity.
I don't know. I don't think.
And I love ETN. I love him.
I'm not. I don't think I would buy on Fields right now with ETN. Right. If you were looking for quarterback equity, you're probably going to pay less for Kyler Murray. Is probably what I would do.
Well, I mean, no kidding. If you can get Kyler, sure, but
I would just rather invest in Kyler. I have a bigger sample size of him being great for fantasy, and he's probably cheaper at the moment.
Yeah, like if you can get Kyler, like I would still rather Kyler than Fields.
Or if you have to get, or if you want to go really big too, you could potentially go like ETN in a 1st for Herbert.
Maybe if that gets it done, yeah, sure. But
well, dude, Herbert's been bad this year. Like objectively, like from a fantasy perspective, his yards per attempt's like below 7 this year. Like you can probably buy low on Justin Herbert right now. Maybe. And I'm really glad he's been bad this year because in both of my tanking dynasty leagues, I have Justin Herbert as my QB1. So I'm actually really glad he's been bad this year.
Trade deadline 11:30. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I would assume most of your guys' trade deadlines are either week 11, week 12, or week 13. I'd imagine. Usually Thanksgiving is around, or American Thanksgiving is around the time that you guys have your trade deadlines. But I'll continue. I think I pumped out trade targets videos until week 13 last year. Is probably what I'll do again.
RB, give me the 2 Saints like very comfortably here.
Yeah, not even close.
Mine's in 3 days in all 3 of my leagues. Good luck.
That's a pretty early trade deadline. Yeah. I would say a week 10 trade deadline seems a bit early to me.
It's a little bit slow. Down 11.5 point PPR. Drake or Duvernay tonight help. I gotta go with Kenyon Drake if you're down 11.5 PPR points. I just think he's got a better chance to score.
Oh man, in PPR though.
Half PPR.
Half PPR. Yeah, better Drake. Chance to score. I mean, Devin Duvernay has 6 touchdowns this year, so he's got a pretty decent chance to score also.
Hey, if your league awards punt return touchdowns, maybe, but I mean, other than that, I gotta go. I gotta go with.
I'm still annoyed at the fact that Deontay Johnson and Chris Godwin haven't scored a touchdown yet this year, given their target shares. Dude, those guys are literally like 10 plus target per game guys, and they haven't scored a touchdown.
Justin, if I'm going to keep it honest with you, I'm very nervous about David Bell.
I'm nervous for sure, but I'm going to keep it till the end of the season when Watson's back.
Agreed.
I'm not buying him for much right now. Like if you would buy David Bell right now, like I'm not paying more than like a 3rd round pick.
Agreed. We'll Terrace Marshall territory from last year. Yeah.
If you can swap like Terrace Marshall for him straight up, would you do it?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you could do that, sure. But I'm not spending a 2nd round capital to get him.
No, not at all. Swift and Gabe Davis. Yes, that'll be max at week 10. Swift and Gabe Davis for T. Higgins and Cordero. Thoughts? I'd
rather have T. Higgins and Cordero, I think.
I would too. Wow.
Swift's injury is making it a little rough. For what it's worth, Dr. Deepak on Twitter thinks that Swift is a good buy right now. He just thinks it's a ramp-up period, and he's probably going to be okay. But he said there's still risk for re-injury, but given how they're using him, there's probably less of a chance that he gets re-injured. So it's kind of like a catch-22. It's that he's not on the field, playing his high-end role that we want him to play, but he's probably also not going to get re-injured.
Yep, I agree with that. Cornish says, I'm a first-timer from UK. Do you guys do you stop trades and waivers at some point in fantasy? Yeah, we usually do it. I think in most of my leagues, like week 12. Is usually the trade deadline and redraft.
Waivers, but we always have waivers.
Waivers run. Sorry, I was looking at trades.
Yeah,
trade deadline is
usually is week 11, week 12, week 13. I would say, and then waivers usually will run till the end of the season. But I know some people's leagues will lock waivers for playoff eliminated teams.
I think that's whack, to be honest. Personally,
I don't. I like it. To be honest,
I get the allure, but at the same time, if I don't make the playoffs, I'm like, maybe it's because I'm competitive.
It's different if you have a punishment for the last place, right? Because if you have a punishment, then you should keep waivers open. But if you don't have a punishment for last place, then there's really no advantage to like the 10th place team.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. If like I don't usually miss the playoffs, but if I ever miss the playoffs, I'm still a competitive motherfucker, and I would just want to like. Rub it
I would just, if I miss the playoffs, I just, whatever. I haven't even, my big dogs bash team, I'm just like not even setting my lineup anymore. I've never had a team more injury prone in my entire life.
Fair. Nick, hello. Hey, what's up, Nick?
What's going on?
Traylon Burks going to come back hot for the playoffs, losing Michael Thomas. I need a solid flex.
I think he's great. He's available in 60% of sleeper leagues right now somehow. But even if you can use him in like a package deal for like a 2-for-1 trade or something, I think he's a great guy to go after. We never got to see him on the field running all the routes and getting the targets. He had good targets per route run the first 2 weeks. Week 3 ran all the routes, and then in week 4 got injured. So we didn't really get to see Traylon Burks really do anything until it was too late. Cobra Kai says Ravens with no weapons. Roquan Smith, new defense. Saints at home Monday night. Kamara's hot, so of course it will be Ravens by 10. Big facts. That's how betting works. I wish you would flash something else. True.
Check your DMs, Nick.
Don't know if we can do that on YouTube.
Check your DMs, Nick.
I'm down 52 points. You think Lamar and Lutz can give me 53 tonight? It's a pretty uphill battle.
You might be playing for next week, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh, it skipped over a bunch of questions for me. Are you able to see these after KJ Frederick at 7:55 p.m.?
Yeah. Bears could use a left tackle as well. Please, wide receiver or left tackle. O-line could. Yeah, no, I agree. That has to be their first round pick this year. Crazy says, should I trade Amari and Saquon for Stevenson and Cup? I would rather Stevenson and Cup side.
Yeah, I would as well. Is there a super chat there that we missed? It's for some. No, whenever somebody gets blocked, it always like holds these like.
I don't see one, but the last one I see here is Mark that we already got to.
Okay, all right, keep going then.
Hey,
a
big piece feedback.
a small piece.
You already asked that, brother. So try to keep the comments to one. Trade DK and Higby for D Hop. Yeah, give me D Hop.
I'll take DeAndre Hopkins there.
Trade Jacoby and Waller for Pitts or Amon, and Waller or Pitts for Amon-Ra. Yeah, like Jacoby and Waller for Amon-Ra.
Yeah, Jacoby and Waller for sure.
Yep. As long as Lamar, Kamara, and Drake can combine for 11 points, I'll be 8-1. Yeah, I think you should be able to do that, brother. Appreciate it.
Cornish Crypto just says thanks for your help, guys.
Anytime, brother. Appreciate
euros
it.
In the chat. You love to see it.
Shout out to the UK. Big time there. Appreciate you for tuning in. Here you. We kind of just swapped midway. My bad.
Yeah.
Should I trade Chubb and Amon-Ra for TJ Hawkinson and Walker? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's a pretty big difference between TJ Hawkinson and the rest of the pieces in that deal. As much as I think Amon-Ra is a great buy low right now, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, Chubb and Amon-Ra is just way too valuable to give up. I love Walker, but like realistically, there's not a huge difference between him and Chubb.
Realistically, once Chubb comes back and has like 2 touchdowns next week, like you could just sell him high. I don't know why you still have Chubb, but I mean,
Chubb's having.
I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around.
Probably.
I know. I'm fucking around. Even if I'm taking, I can never give my elite quarterback. They're too valuable to give up. I agree. I structure most of my teams to the point where my quarterbacks are elite. I draft them very early. I dropped good numbers in the mid rounds at the wide receiver position. And then those rookie draft picks, guess what? Here's a name. Fucking who's a day 2, day 1 capital running back? Okay, you're on my team. Boom, boom, boom. You're limiting your opportunity cost. You're getting a significant advantage at the quarterback position, and your team has a long shelf life. So that is my favorite build in Dynasty, period.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing, too, is I think people underestimate how much job security players have in the NFL at quarterback, because realistically, like there's 15 teams every offseason that are at least willing to upgrade that position group.
Yep.
And, Josh Allen's, Justin Herbert's, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, right? Like it's such a secure pick. Like if you could tell me, X wide receiver that you love, like DK Metcalf is going to be a top 10 fantasy wide receiver for the rest of his career for the next 7 years. Like how high would you draft the guy? Right. Like it's the security that you get at quarterback. And like Brock said, it's hard to hit on a guy like Herbert, like Allen, like whatever, like as much as we like, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud and Caleb Williams and all these dudes, they go very high in rookie drafts. So you better have high rookie picks, and B, they are no guarantee. It's the quarterback position. It all depends on where they go, who their coaching staff is, how they build around the player and all that stuff.
What just happened? Did Adam Schefter do something stupid?
Why is he getting canceled?
I don't know, but Hayden Winks just tweeted out capital letters Schefter 17 minutes ago. Did he do something on air that was like silly?
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know. I agree with you though, Brock. You have to severely overpay me in Dynasty to get Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Lamar. Yeah, I agree. Those guys are just fucking locked in. What should I trade Swift for PPR? You do not trade Swift after this previous week. You wait for him to be 20 plus PPR point per game scorer like he will be.
Yeah, if you have Swift, I know it sucks, but you just have to hold for the time being. You can't.
Yep. Literally though, Cobra. They have kicked off. See you later, guys. Yeah, appreciate you for tuning in there, Cornish. Hopefully we
Schefter dressed like Kirk Cousins with the shades of the shirt.
Oh no. Sorry, my
that also is the funniest. I saw somebody like they were like, why is Kirk Cousins the coolest quarterback to ever exist? And the first comment was like, weird way to spell whitest. And I fucking laughed my ass off.
Oh God. Somebody I know tweeted out Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson is gonna be the my mic. Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison is gonna be the Amari Cooper, Kevin White redux. I'm like, no, let's stop. Kevin White doesn't hold.
People are sleeping on Jordan Addison, man. I don't really give a shit that he's small. He's gross.
Schefter dressed like Kirk with the chains. Yeah. I love it. Let's go. That's epic. Yeah, because he's on the Manning cast, right? Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk.
Tua feels like he's getting a long-term contract.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think this year he'll get one.
Next year, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if he closes the season out the way he's playing, and he's definitely earned a long-term contract, or at least in discussion for one, but he's going to have to continue going with it. I think teams are pretty wary of giving long-term contracts to quarterbacks.
As one of the bigger Tua haters coming into the season, this guy's earned his contract. He's earned it, like point blank simple.
Sure.
Going with the over just cause.
It's just because I bet the under. Yeah, it's not a bad
pretty
idea.
Much. Kirk O'Ban's Perker. Yeah, sir. Dude,
all right. Game is live.
The last thing I was going to say is not going to lie. The vibes on that Vikings team are immaculate. So if they go on a run, it'll be strictly based off their vibes.
True.
Either way, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. 8:19 currently. Enjoy the kickoff. Hopefully, if you guys have some fantasy matchups on the line, you guys get the dub. I somehow already secured the dub in my home league. Shout out to Tyreek Hill for getting me through a CMC list week.
True. Last question from Joshua, and then we'll head out of here. Should I trade Pittman and Devontae Smith for Kirk and Garrett Wilson? You should not. No, I would rather have Pittman than Kirk and Smith than Wilson. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. But Garrett Wilson is definitely a riser for me rest of the season for sure. He's been really good.
Oh my God. Wait. I got the picture. Okay. If you guys are watching. That is epic. Okay. All right. Either way, guys, enjoy the game. Take care. See you later. See you on Thursday for the next live stream.